Everything changes in a split second. And the new Heartland Season 19 Episode 7 trailer shows a moment so emotional, so sharp, that fans are already calling it the most devastating twist of the entire season. There's no warning, no gentle build up, just a sudden shift that shakes the ranch, the family, and every bond we thought was unbreakable. If you think Heartland has been dramatic so far, this trailer hints at something far deeper. Something that will leave every viewer stunned and silent. The trailer opens with a quiet shot of the Heartland Ranch. But even in the silence, something feels wrong. The sky is dull, the wind is heavy, and it's as if the entire place is holding its breath. This isn't the warm, peaceful Heartland we're used to. It feels like the calm before a storm, the kind of moment where your heart knows trouble is standing just out of sight. The ranch isn't glowing with life, it looks tense, troubled, almost fragile, as the camera moves closer. We see Amy walking toward the barn, and her expression tells us everything we need to know. She looks uneasy, distracted, almost afraid of what she's about to face. There's no smile, no lightness. And that alone signals that Episode 7 is heading into emotional territory we haven't explored in a while. Amy's steps are slow, like she's carrying the weight of something that hasn't been fully revealed yet. Even the horses seem uneasy, shifting and snorting as if they feel the change too. Then, just as the peaceful moment settles in, the tone shifts sharply. A sudden cut in the trailer shows Tim raising his voice at someone off-screen. His face is red with stress, and there's a kind of fear in his eyes that we rarely see. This isn't just anger. This is panic mixed with desperation. Whatever he's reacting to, it's serious. And the trailer hints that this moment might be the key to the devastating twist teased ahead. Tim's never been perfect, but seeing him this shaken suggests that something is threatening the family in a way he can't control. Next, the trailer shows a flash of Lou standing near the porch, clutching her phone tightly. Her eyes are filling with tears, and she looks like the news she's hearing is something she's not ready to accept. The shot is brief, but it hits hard. Lou is someone who tries to stay strong, even when everything is falling apart. So when we see her like this, with fear and sadness breaking through, we know the story is taking a dangerous turn. Everything about these opening moments builds. One feeling, something heartbreaking is coming, and no one in the family is prepared for it. The next part of the trailer releases the first real shockwave, and it comes without warning. The screen cuts to a close-up of Amy inside the barn, but this time, her hands are shaking as she reaches for a horse's reins. She tries to calm the horse, whispering softly, but her voice cracks. It's rare to see Amy lose her steady control. And that alone hints that whatever she's dealing with isn't small, it's something that has shaken her confidence to the core. The lighting around her is dim, almost shadowed, making her look isolated in a place that normally brings her comfort. The horse senses it too, nudging her arm as if trying to pull her back from whatever darkness she's drowning in. Then the trailer hits us with its first truly unsettling sound, the distant echo of raised voices drifting in from outside the barn. The voices aren't clear at first, but the frustration and fear in them grow sharper with every second. Amy freezes, her eyes widening, and the camera cuts to the ranch yard where Jack and Tim are facing each other. Their posture says everything, Jack standing firm, Tim leaning forward aggressively, both refusing to back down. We've seen them argue before, but this one feels dangerously different. There's no playful annoyance, no stubbornness framed by love. This time, the argument carries a painful truth neither of them wants to face. The trailer doesn't reveal what they're arguing about, but the intensity between them suggests it's connected to a threat or mistake that could hurt the entire family. Jack's voice trembles not from fear, but from heartbreak. Tim's voice rises not from anger, but from guilt. This is the kind of fight that leaves scars, the kind of moment that could break years of hard-earned trust. Suddenly, the sound drops, and we see a single shot of Lindy standing near the fence, watching everything unfold. Her little hands grip the wood tightly. Her expression is serious, too serious for a child her age, and that's what makes the scene so powerful. Heartland rarely uses Lindy to carry heavy emotional moments, so when they do, it's a sign that the situation is more severe than anyone is admitting. The camera lingers on her face just long enough to show the fear she doesn't understand, not fully, but enough to feel the shift tearing through her family. The music grows low and tense, and the screen fades to black. It's a short section of the trailer, but it delivers the first real punch. A family shaken, a child watching, and a storm that refuses to stay silent. Whatever is coming in episode 7 is not just dramatic, it's deeply personal. And it's going to leave a mark on every character involved. As the trailer moves forward, the atmosphere changes again, shifting from loud conflict to a silence that feels even more unsettling. We're shown a slow, haunting shot of the ranch's long dirt road at dusk. Dust floats through the orange light, and the camera drifts forward like it's searching for something or someone. Nothing is said in this moment, but the quiet is heavy, almost suffocating, as if the land itself knows that something terrible is approaching. Then we see Lou standing alone inside her office. The room is dim, lit only by a single desk lamp. Papers are scattered everywhere, but she isn't paying attention to any of them. She's holding a small, folded letter or maybe a report of some kind, and her hand keeps tightening around it. Her breathing grows sharp, fast, uneven. Lou is strong-willed, always ready to fight through chaos. But here she looks lost, like she's reading something she wishes she could unread. The camera never lets us see the words, but her expression says enough. Whatever news she's holding, it isn't just upsetting, it's life-changing. The trailer then flashes to a scene that lasts only a second. But it's the kind of moment that sends a chill down your spine. We see an ambulance parked at a distance near a field, its lights faint but unmistakable. No sirens, no movement, just the quiet flash of red and blue against the fading sky. The trailer gives us no context, no injured person, no frantic crowd, only that still, tense image. And in that single shot, everything changes. That's when it becomes painfully clear. Something serious has happened or is about to happen. And the show wants us to feel that dread before revealing the truth. Right after this, the trailer cuts to Jack sitting alone on the porch steps. His hat hangs loosely in his hands, and he looks older, more tired than we've seen him in a long time. His shoulders are slumped forward, and his eyes stay locked on the ground, like he's replaying a moment he wishes he could change. Jack is the heart of the ranch, the steady force everyone leans on. So seeing him this defeated sends an even louder message than any dramatic scene could. This isn't just a family argument or a simple accident. Something has shaken him to his core. A faint, haunting piano note plays as Jack finally lifts his head, and though he says nothing, the pain in his face is unmistakable. The screen fades again, leaving viewers with a single, chilling question. What happened off-screen that could break the strongest man in Heartland? The trailer shifts again, and this time the tone snaps from quiet sadness to sharp, heart-racing tension. It happens in a blink, one of those fast cuts that lasts barely a heartbeat, but carries more weight than an entire scene. The screen flashes to Amy riding hard across an open field, her hair whipping behind her, her voice shouting something we can't fully hear. The camera shakes, the ground races under her horse's hooves, and even without sound, the urgency of the moment hits like a punch. This isn't training. This isn't a peaceful ride. This is Amy chasing danger. But the trailer doesn't let us understand what she's running toward. Instead, it cuts to a different angle. Amy, pulling her horse to a stop so quickly that dust bursts into the air. She leans forward, gripping the reins with both hands, staring at something just out of frame. Her entire body looks tense, like every instinct in her is screaming that she's too late. And Heartland rarely shows Amy like this, frozen, breathless, unsure. The fear in her eyes is the clearest sign yet that episode 7 is building toward something devastating. Then the trailer reveals a strange and subtle clue. For the briefest moment, we see a broken fence line near the creek. A few boards hang loose, the grass flattened by something heavy. The dirt looks disturbed, as if something or someone was dragged or ran through it. The shot is barely a second long, but it feels like a warning. Something unusual happened here. Something that shouldn't have happened. And the fact that the trailer chooses to hide this clue inside such a fast cut means the show wants fans to pause, think, and worry. The trailer doesn't confirm anything, but the message is loud. Something went wrong on that land. It's something serious enough to break fences, stir panic, and send the family running. And the fact that the trailer refuses to show what Amy and Tim are staring at only makes the moment feel more dangerous. More heartbreaking, more unavoidable. The trailer then takes a darker turn, shifting away from the frantic outdoor chaos and into a quiet, an almost claustrophobic moment inside the house. We see Lou standing at the kitchen counter, holding onto the edge, as if trying to steady herself. The room is still, but her breathing isn't. It's uneven, sharp. It's the kind that comes right before tears you're desperately trying to hold back. Her eyes flick toward the doorway as if she's waiting for someone to walk in with answers she's not sure she even wants to hear. The tension in her shoulders shows she's carrying something heavy, something she's not ready to say aloud. The trailer cuts to a brief shot of Jack entering the room, his boots leaving a trail of dust on the floor. He pauses when he sees Lou, his expression softening into something almost fatherly and sad. Jack rarely looks defeated, but here his shoulders sink just a little, like he's bracing himself for a truth he already knows but doesn't want to face. The silence between them stretches for several seconds, and in that silence is something unspoken: fear, loss, regret. It's the kind of moment where words feel dangerous. Like speaking them will make everything real. Then we get the most unsettling line of the entire trailer. Lou's voice, small and trembling, saying, "We should have seen this coming." The trailer doesn't let us hear the rest. It cuts off the second she speaks those words, leaving us to imagine what she means. Was it an accident they ignored the signs of? A person they should have helped sooner? A danger they should have confronted instead of avoiding? Lou's line isn't just emotional, it's haunting. It suggests that devastation wasn't sudden. It was building quietly, while everyone looked the other way. The next clip strikes even harder. We see Amy sitting alone in the barn, her hands clasped tightly together. Her head bowed like she's praying or trying to steady her thoughts. Her voice cracks as she whispers, "It's my fault." The trailer doesn't show who she's speaking to, but the guilt in her voice is unmistakable. Amy taking the blame for anything hits deeply. She cares so fiercely, so completely, that even the smallest mistake feels unbearable to her. But this isn't small. This feels like the kind of pain that reshapes someone. Finally, the scene cuts to black again, and a soft, aching piano note plays. No action, no shouting, no chaos. Just raw, quiet grief settling over everything. And it makes one thing frighteningly clear. Whatever happened, every member of the Heartland family feels responsible in their own heartbreaking way. The trailer pushes deeper into the emotional storm, with a moment that feels like everything is coming apart. It begins with a dimly lit shot of Tim standing near the barn doors at night. Rain taps softly on the roof, and his breath fogs in the cold air. The camera moves closer, and for the first time in a long while, Tim looks completely unsure of himself. His jaw trembles, his hands hang helpless at his sides, and he keeps glancing toward the shadows inside the barn, as if afraid of what he'll see if he steps forward. This isn't the confident, stubborn man we know. This is someone facing a truth he can't outrun. Suddenly, the screen cuts to Lou and Amy in the living room, standing on opposite sides of the room like two people divided by something invisible but powerful. Lou's face is red from crying, while Amy's eyes shine with the kind of pain that comes from guilt mixed with anger. They're talking over each other, their words sharp and strained, but the trailer mutes their voices. We only see their expressions: hurt, fear, frustration, all crashing into each other in a swirl of emotion. The silence makes it worse. It lets the visuals speak. And what they say is simple. Something is tearing their family apart. Then we see Jack step between them, lifting his hands gently as if trying to calm a storm. His voice, finally audible, cuts through the tension with a single line: "Fighting won't fix this." But his voice isn't steady, it cracks on the last word, showing how deeply this moment is affecting him. Jack has always been the anchor, the one who pulls everyone back when the world feels too heavy. But here, even he seems unsure if he can hold the family together this time. The trailer then gives us one of its most powerful shots yet, a close-up of Amy's face as she whispers, "We have to decide tonight." The fear in her voice is raw, almost desperate. The decision she's talking about is never explained, but the urgency in her eyes says enough. It's a choice that comes with consequences. A choice none of them want to make. A choice that could break the family more than the tragedy itself. The scene fades into darkness, replaced by a final chilling image. Tim walking away from the ranch house alone, disappearing into the night. His shoulders are heavy, his steps slow, and the trailer leaves us with the terrifying question of whether he's leaving because of guilt, grief, or something even worse. The music fades into a low, trembling note as if the world is holding its breath. And with that, Section 6 makes one thing painfully clear. The devastation isn't just the event itself, it's the impossible choices the family must make in the aftermath, the trailer's final moments. Arrive with a stillness that feels heavier than any action scene. It opens with a wide shot of the ranch at sunrise. The sky glows faintly, but the land below feels cold and hollow, as if the heart of Heartland has been shaken loose. The horses stand quietly in the pasture, not moving, not grazing, as if they sense the weight pressing down on the people who care for them. This calm isn't peaceful, it's the quiet that settles after something painful happens. The kind of silence that follows bad news. Then we see Amy sitting beside the fireplace, staring into the flames with empty eyes. She's holding something small in her hand, a bracelet, a photo, maybe a piece of someone's clothing. The trailer doesn't let us see it clearly, but whatever it is, she holds it with the kind of tenderness that only comes from love mixed with heartbreak. Her breathing is shallow, her shoulders trembling just enough for the camera to catch. Amy has been through loss before, but this moment is different. It doesn't look like the shock of sudden tragedy. It looks like the pain of accepting something you never wanted to believe was true. Then, without warning, the trailer flashes to a shot of Jack in the barn. He's standing beside a horse stall, one hand resting on the wooden frame, his head bowed. His voice is barely audible as he says, "I should have been there." That single sentence hits hard not just because of what it implies, but because Jack rarely admits regret out loud. The pain in his voice suggests something irreversible, something final, something that changed the entire family in an instant. But again, the trailer refuses to show the event itself. It only gives us the aftermath, the grief, the blame, the quiet collapse. The screen shifts again, this time to Luz standing outside on the porch. She wipes tears from her face, but her hands won't stop shaking. She whispers, "What do we tell Lindy?" And that question breaks everything wide open. It's not a question you ask about a small problem. It's the kind you ask when something has changed life forever. Something too painful for a child to understand. Finally, the trailer ends with a single haunting shot. The entire family gathered in the living room. Standing close but not touching, each one of them wearing the same devastated expression. The room feels heavy, the silence unbearable. The camera slowly pulls back, as if giving the family space to grieve, and then cut to black. No explanation. No reveal. No final clue, just the heavy truth that Episode 7 holds something heartbreaking the trailer refuses to show. The devastation isn't just coming. It's already begun.